What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best meta strikers in FC24 and who you can get at each of the budgets. So we split them up and we'll go through them. To start with, we've gone with the lowest of low. It is anywhere between 0 and 100,000 coins. Within reason. Obviously, I'm not just going to go through every single striker at this budget because naturally there is a lot, and to be honest, there's a lot that you just don't want to go with. So starting off at the bottom, and these two are only included because they were great starters, and I'm talking like you have just started the game, you've played 5 matches, you've got a few thousand coins. Kolomoane was my personal big favourite to start the game. Might be a little bit different now, and naturally if you are putting coins on or you are putting points on, then naturally you are going to exceed that limit very quickly. But Kolomoane is a great option if you are struggling for any sort of striker. Very quick, very big, and a great finish on him. We've also got Lacazette here, mainly for the fact that naturally over the kind of course of the game, we should have evolutions that naturally could increase him in his card now. We've seen it with previous Centurions, we've seen it with previous Trailblazers. Naturally, we're going to get to a point where 85s, 86 are not necessarily in the game anymore. They need to be 90 and above. So I'm hoping that is one shout that you want to have a look at just as a future project, as he has got a very good balanced amount of stats, a 4-star, 4-star as well. Just an interesting one. But in terms of kind of the gold cards I really like, Griezmann this year is fantastic, and it all comes down mainly to that playstyle plus. He's very agile on the ball, he can get that finesse off very easily, and it is such a good shot in the game that he's definitely worth the coins as, again, a bargain starting striker. Only 32,000 coins is fantastic. Openda, another one to look at. I know he's got multiple versions, and we are going to go through all of them as well, because I do think as a pacey player, he's definitely a great one. On to free women, and I don't know how many others are actually in this, but in terms of the free golds that I really like up front, Morgan and Smith were the balanced kind of starting American strikers, as well as then Swanson and Rodman, as I always kind of mention them. They are a perfect link between all of them, or at least a great link between all of them. Smith definitely was one of the better ones to start with. Morgan does have that shooting, which is fire, as well as the 4-star, 5-star is very hard to beat. And Diana seems to be the one that is kind of coming through everywhere, probably because of the nation link as well. Naturally, the Ligue 1's women's division has got a lot of good players as well. In Grace, in obviously the left backs now, we've got quite a few. So they have got links away from just being, for instance, American. There isn't many American men that you're going to actually have in your team, so it makes them a little bit harder to link, or you have to go full send for the whole attack. But Diana, as a striker, is absolutely phenomenal. Then we have Messi, which is a sad sight to see at 50,000 coins, but still, it's Messi. If you can get the links on him, he has got, again, an incredible shot. Dribbling-wise is fantastic, and naturally we're going to see upgrades to him throughout the year. Rashford, easy gold option. Now he's below 100,000 coins. Such a viable option as a striker. Got the power shot plus playstyle, which again, if you've never used, give it a try and come back to the video because he is absolutely brilliant with it. And then we've got 2 special cards kind of just chilling at the top. We have got the new Martinez SBC that I think is good purely on the fact you can get him done with untradables. You don't necessarily have to use any tradable cards or coins to get him. So it's always a nice one and a good rating in that Serie A squad. And Correa naturally has always been a very good player in this game as he kind of goes through the ranks. I do like him more on the wing at times, especially when he does get above that 88, 89 rated, because he naturally does have a lot of pace, dribbling and shooting that can go hand in hand, but unfortunately no playstyle plus on him. FC24 is here and Sky Coach has all your needs covered. From squad battles, champs, qualifications, and even now draft boosting, there is a long list of services they do give, as well as coaching, and also the big one everybody wants in FC24 coins. The service is fast and reliable, and you will get your coins, your boosting services, or obviously coaching in a matter of hours. If you do want to get any of these, make sure you head over to skycoach.gg, go onto the website, and when you go to checkout, make sure that you are using the code JT11 at checkout for your 5% off your orders. And if you'd prefer to do this on mobile, check out the screen right now with the QR code for their mobile app. And then we get into the 200k market. This is between 100 and 200. And I must admit, this is where we get to the point where you are like one step away from really hitting jackpot with them. Haaland is very good, but There's got to be a reason why he's only 114,000 at this point in the game. A 91 striker of Haaland's capabilities, as well as his just natural prowess in actual football. He's good, but I could see why people are waiting out on the better version of him. At least the 94 most definitely, but that comes in a little bit later with a lot more coins. We've started to see the integration of heroes here, with obviously Keane, Smolarek, Forlan and Brolin, all very, very similar. Brolin, unfortunately, out of the four of them, in fact, doesn't have the playstyle plus, but Smolarek doesn't necessarily have the greatest one either. Press proven is just not necessarily a striker's dream, if I'm being honest. So it's why I would recommend Forlan and Keane as the kind of two. I know Keane has the chip shot, and also Forlan has, I want to say that's power shot. I'm pretty sure that's power shot, not finesse. But all of them have got in their own right a very good striking prowess, especially if you did get him from the Hero SBC in the previous weeks. And then Werner is natural. Honestly, he's already ruined my Founders evolution. We haven't had an upgrade, and I've got him just 84, but there is an 86 out, which again is the drawbacks and kind of problems with evolutions at time as well, when we do get a card that is exactly like the one you've already done. Now between 250 and 500, this is where we get into some of the very decent strikers. Naturally, we obviously go up as the price goes up, but I do think when it comes to a striker, that's where I personally spend the most money. I like to budget across the team, but in terms of a striker, that's where I really like to go a little bit more in, and especially if I do manage to get them untradeable, that's just even better. If we start off on the lower end, Apenda's kind of come in here with his 87, very nice card, and it just shows us what this card really can do if he does get that rating. Imagine that as a 90, we end up like 88 shooting, 97, 98 pace, as well as a bit more dribbling and physical, maybe even a skill move upgrade. That could definitely be a good striker, especially if he does get a playstyle plus as well. We got a few more heroes in Tevez, nice card, Govu, as well as Govu's triple threat that we'll go through, Enzo as a brand new add to the game that was absolutely fantastic, and finally Voler as the higher rated striker in heroes. Voler just naturally is always going to be fantastic. Chip shot as his playstyle plus, but Govu is kind of what I'm looking at. It is unfortunately he doesn't have the 4-4 and he's only a 4-3 unfortunately, but in terms of kind of the upgrade we have got from his triple threat to his normal hero, you're looking at what, 120,000 coins give or take, but for a 1 upgrade. This is the problem with only putting a +1 or +2 on icons or heroes. It sometimes doesn't make it worth going up there. Maybe if you get him untradeable, then fair enough. That is not the argument. If you go back Mbappe's inform compared to his gold, what can you do? It just is what it is. But in terms of only giving him 1 upgrade and you have to buy him, I personally would just go for the 86 still. Naturally, that's going to come in cheaper. And really, there's no upgrade. There's no weak foot upgrade. There's no different playstyle plus to add. It is just a predominant inform upgrade. So I'm hoping they do go a bit above and beyond for that one, because naturally I would like to see more, and we have got the UCL heroes coming out soon, so that again should be a nice upgrade to a lot of these cards. Then we have João Pedro. Beautiful card. This has gone from what, an 86 I want to say was, into the 88, and he was already good at 86, so he is definitely worth a look in. He is coming in quite expensive, but I must admit the pace, the physicality of him in his natural build at 6 foot doesn't seem like he's got a lot of physicality, but most definitely does on the ball, and shooting is absolutely elite. And then we have the icons, Zola, Van Persie, Smith, and also Rooney. Rooney's the only one, I know Rooney and Smith are the only two in this list that have got a Centurions upgrade that we will talk about, but naturally these versions of them are still very good. We managed to pick up Zola very early on from the icon, the official, or the early release of the icon SBC for the 87 max, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it was 87, then we've got an 89 coming. An absolute brilliant striker. He may not be my favourite because naturally body build, he's only what, 5'6", so he does get pushed off the ball quite a lot, but if you can get it into his feet, get that left stick dribbling working, perfect. Van Persie could do with the upgrade, not gonna lie. It's still a very good finisher of the game, but I would like to see him in a more pacier role, and it's where I think the prime and moments for Van Persie always did him really well. Whereas I think Rooney and Smith are just absolute goal-getters. Them two together are absolutely brilliant, and we have got reviews on both of them on the channel as well. Now, if you are looking at a bit more of a pricier budget, this is the kind of squad now. We've got a few strikers here that are costing quite a lot. I think we're up to $1 million coin budget on this one. So we have got Smith and Rooney Centurions, very much like Govu. They are only normally a 1 upgrade, maybe 2. I think the only one that got a triple upgrade was Ashley Cole. Again, don't shoot me if I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure that was the only one. But in terms of the upgrade, you're looking at 655 and 750. Even though, love the dynamics, I always like the dynamics, and also the actual card looks very prestigious, and I'm hoping if they can get this one right, Team of the Year icons, bit of gold, bit of blue, would be perfect. But I again, with these, I would personally go with the normal cards. I think if you are looking at them, again, wait for the 89 icon SBC to come out, because naturally you could get one of them. But in terms of kind of what we're seeing here, you're paying for a dynamic and an inform upgrade. I'm not normally one for that. Then we have Drogba, Torres, and Muller as the other icons. Drogba is just an absolute machine. He is kind of how I think Haaland should be. Even though Haaland is very good and still features in my team, Drogba was just effortless. If he managed to have a power shot, a finesse shot plus as well, I know he's got power header, but if he manages to get one of them, you are absolutely golden with him, as naturally the size of him, the strength, the shooting, even the pace at still 87 is incredible. Then we have a Griezmann, Smith and Ronaldo in Trailblazer. Again, more upgrades onto their cards. With Smith and Griezmann, it is just an added bonus for them. I would say with Griezmann, I've put him in here just to kind of slate him off, because this card, unfortunately, a 1 upgrade, but takes away that finesse shot. That for me is a no-go for him, so he is just kind of taken off, but it was just for any questions about Griezmann. I know he's got an inform, so that one would be the one I would upgrade to if you are desperate to get a better version of Griezmann. With Smith, may not be the greatest playstyle plus, I'm not going to lie. Relentless is good for the stamina, I suppose, but realistically, she didn't have a playstyle plus anyway. So any playstyle plus is technically better than none, even if it's not necessarily the 4th runner. If she got finesse, she'd be over $1 million coins. I guarantee it. We have got Forlan as an SBC. I don't normally put SBC players in here, as I would like to give you a player recommendation that you can actually go get. There's no point me going, you know what, Son Player of the Month is a must do. If you've not done him, you've not done him, it's gone. So I like to just kind of keep it very relevant. So if he is gone by the time you do watch it, then unfortunately I've given enough time. I think he's here for quite a while still, but I like the triple upgrade or the triple trio on the SBC as well. So it's just an extra little bonus if you wanted to have a look at that one. Torres, insane striker. He was probably one of my first strikers in an icon form, especially because he was kind of one of the most expensive I did, that was absolutely brilliant. Effortless, shooting, pace, just general dribbling was incredible for him. He was one that I really wanted. The highest rated 87, or highest, the highest rated 87, the highest price 87 you could have physically got in the icon pack, and was worth every single penny. Son, on the other hand, it's kind of why I've put his inform in here. I loved his player of the month. We got that done as quick as humanly possible, because naturally that finesse plus, as well as the upgrade to potential striker as well, was just perfect. A 4-star, 5-star. Now we do have Salah as well. I would recommend trying to get him, especially if you have done Son, having them two on the wings, as finesse on both of them, as well as the pace, shooting and everything, is a great link up. CR7 then. Big one. Big upgrade for him. Good pace increase. Obviously still has the shooting. Doesn't necessarily have his power shot plus anymore. Does have the Trivela, but this is kind of where we're seeing with Ronaldo, and we knew that we would. He was 86 to start with, but you know full well EA are going to try and pull on them heartstrings and get him as high rated. I guarantee Messi and Ronaldo both see a 99 this year, let alone Messi winning the Ballon d'Or. I guarantee Ronaldo gets a 99 at some point. It's just naturally going to happen, especially for the next couple of years if he is still playing in the Saudi League. But then naturally, if we do get icon versions, I could see him being one of the highest icons we've actually got, and he will cost the absolute bucks. And Gerd Muller is kind of there for the moment, as I do think in terms of a striker at the early stages of the game is fantastic, but what I saw from last year is he does fall off very quickly. And now we move into the what I like to call unobtainable budget. If you've managed to get any coins of value of these and the next slide, then fair enough. Like, you are either a better trader than me, very good padlock, or just naturally you've got secrets I don't know. But in terms of this selection, this is the most important. And to be honest, the first name I'd always pick out is got to be Gold Mbappe. he will last you so long in this game. The pace, the shoot, well, we know what Mbappe's like, don't we? We know full well there's a reason why he is the only gold card above 2 million coins and is still residing at 2.6. So naturally, he would always be my go-to. If I said you had a 15 mil coin budget, I'd always say Gold Mbappe is the first name. But we do have other players in here, starting at the lower end of 1.2 million. At Butragueno, we have Dalglish, Eto'o, Puskás as the kind of, well, and Henry, I suppose, as the kind of more cheaper icons under 2 million coins, which all of them will give you the exactly what you want, to be honest. Eto'o naturally has always been one of my favourites. I think just nostalgic vibes of actually seeing him Barca kit, the whole nine really. Then even to Everton, to be honest, remembering Eto'o's career and what he kind of was, I feel like they emulated that really well this game. And I think that is where Henry should have been. I should have that same feeling for Henry. And it's only since this year that they've actually added a bit more balance to him. I don't know why they gave him the card that they did in the past, 5 years. He is just totally unusable, whereas now we're starting to see the respect on Henry, and most definitely is the reason why he is now coming in a bit more expensive than the rest. Puskás, on the other hand, I feel like we got spoilt last year with a 5-5. Going back to a 4-3 is nice, and in terms of if you played with him now, naturally he's going to give you an advantage. But I do see him, like Gerd Muller, dropping off quickly if he doesn't get that big upgrade, and especially a 5-4 or a 4-4 at the very, very minimum. Rashford, on the other hand, love him, everything about him, incredible. Always an upgrade onto him, but I would say bit expensive, 1.7 for a free upgrade. Even though, yes, he does keep his lovely playstyle plus, that is a lot of coins to a card that potentially will come down if he was to get another upgrade at some point. We have got Ginola, very similar situation as Govou. We have got 2.5 on his normal hero, still a 5-5, which is brilliant. He then keeps the same everything, but just gets a 1 upgrade for the triple threat. Again, I'd go with the gold personally. Naturally, going to have more chance of the gold than you are the Centurions, triple threat. But in terms of the gold, you're spending what, 1.2 million coins less. I would much rather go for that. And then the final two, we have got Eusebio at 2.9. As always, Eusebio's in that top bracket, like Mbappe, if you manage to get him in the team, which, to be honest, I've seen him more than I've seen Mbappe, which is very, very scary to think of pack weight. And then obviously Haaland, 2.6, 94 rated already, is an absolute machine. He's managed to get his 4-star, 3-star in this, which is always perfect, and just, he is a better version. A triple upgrade is always worth looking at. And then we have the fantastic 6 that is built up of 2 Mbappes. Naturally, just go into him. You've got 4.4 million for the 92. Does have a nice playstyle plus with this one. And then an inform that is the same rating, but is 8.8 million at the minute. Always going to be a big card as soon as it's released. It's just natural. But the one thing with Mbappe, especially to add, he has won Player of the Month. I don't know when it's due to come out, but it's very soon. That card will be expensive, not going to lie. It more than likely will be 93 rated now. I just don't even want to know the price of it, because if that card doesn't drop down below 5 mil, we're looking at like a 6-7 million coin card as an SBC. Maybe even 5 to 6 if we're looking at it, because now it's got to be 93. If it was 92, I could see him at maybe 4 million, 3.5. But this card is going to be expensive. But then the final icons, Cruyff, Pele, Ham, and R9. They are what they are. Ham is definitely one to look at if we do get an upgrade. She arguably is the same sort of level as an R9. R9's always going to have nostalgic value, so I feel like he always will be better, or at least he will feel better naturally. But in terms of the pricing, if you're here, you're not really looking at this budget video, because you have already got the best strikers in the game and naturally do not need any more advice. R9 and Mbappe together is an end game partnership, especially if we do get that Player of the Month at a price that we can actually complete. It just is what it is. But they are the meta strikers. Let me know down below your 2 or 1 striker in your team, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.